A Brooklyn Park murder case that resulted in the death of a 23-year-old mother of a young child now has 5 suspects connected to the crime. Zaria McKeever was shot and killed last November inside her Brooklyn Park apartment. According to court records, 2 teens broke into her unit and one of them shot and killed her. Prosecutors eventually charged Eric Haynes, McKeever's ex-boyfriend, with second-degree murder, saying he recruited the teens, provided them the murder weapon, and plotted the entire crime. In a plea deal, the teens were not tried as adults in exchange for their cooperation. That cooperation led to charges against 2 additional suspects, 24-year-old Ariana Haynes of Brooklyn Center and 24-year-old Tavion James of Brooklyn Park. Each were charged with felony aiding an offender. A Coon Rapids man is accused of firing dozens of gunshots in a residential neighborhood, then trying to dispose of the weapon in a gas station bathroom. Jerry Powell is charged with felony reckless discharge of a weapon and fleeing a police officer. According to the criminal complaint, the shots were fired in the 1600 block of 84th Court North. Brooklyn Park police say they recovered more than 40 shell casings. The complaint says Powell was spotted in a nearby strip mall on Edinburgh Center Drive. Police then located the suspect inside the Holiday gas station in that area. When the suspect saw police, he ran off. Police eventually arrested him with the help of a Crystal Police canine. The suspect was found hiding in a shed. A motive for the shooting is not known. Spring is in the air and wedding season is upon us. It's a refreshing change for an industry that had been turned upside down by the pandemic. Reporter Sarah Allen shows us what wedding venues and businesses are now seeing with COVID in the rearview mirror.
I'll do the bridesmaid get ready things.
Yande Masanda has been planning her wedding for the past 3 years. The wedding date has been somewhat of a moving target.
It has changed numerous times based off of restrictions, COVID, shutdowns in regards to venues and venue sizes and venues closing and not coming back, and staff shortages.
The bride-to-be has finally nailed down a date and is somewhat ready to send out invitations.
I've been hesitant about that because it's like, do I have to change anything?
Yande is not the only bride making plans to head down the altar in this post-pandemic world. The Wedding Report estimates that there will be about 2.24 million weddings in 2023. That's down a bit from the 2022 surge, but still up more than 62.5% from 2020.
This is our built-in bar that is a brand new addition to the room.
The Millennium Gardens and newly renovated ballroom at the Plymouth Community Center are back in full swing, accommodating a backlog of weddings.
I think we're still getting a little bit of the weddings that had to be canceled and pushed back from COVID.
Event coordinator Nicole Schultz says they are booked almost through the entire summer of 2023. More weddings mean more help is needed.
We're actually looking to hire a couple event specialists part-time to help us out on the weekends, and a little bit of coming in during the weekdays to help with administrative stuff and work with the bride and groom.
Floral shops are also seeing business return to full bloom since the height of the pandemic.
We're doing, big weddings again.
Frank Bolander from Best Wishes Floral in Golden Valley says during the pandemic they were still doing a lot of weddings, but they were receiving smaller orders.
We did probably more weddings than we typically do during an average year, but it was like a $200 wedding and not a $2,000 or $4,000 or $6,000 wedding.
This return to a more normal time is something those in the wedding industry and those with a wedding date welcome.
I'm excited for the party, just to have all of our loved ones there and to finally have that moment.
Sarah Allen, CCX News.
It's the end of an era for one of Brooklyn Park's most high-profile restaurants. Lemongrass Thai Cuisine is closing its doors on Saturday after 18 years of business. This was owner Chef Ann Ahmed's first restaurant. She says she'll be at the restaurant for the final few days of business to say goodbye to customers. Ahmed went on to open Lat 14 in Golden Valley, as well as a restaurant in Minneapolis and a future restaurant in Loring Park. As for the Lemongrass space, there are no known plans for what that location could become. A Brooklyn Center liquor store employee who gained worldwide attention for a simple act of kindness received an unexpected surprise this week.
I reached out to Dr. Carly Baker, who is the superintendent here in Brooklyn Center, and I said, Carly, we gotta work on something for Ace. We gotta try to get her a jacket, and she's like, absolutely, I'm on it.
Ace Thomas, a 2002 graduate of Brooklyn Center High School, received a brand new letter jacket on Tuesday during a Brooklyn Center Rotary meeting. You may recall in December, Ace gave a homeless man in need of shoes the purple Air Jordans right off her feet. The story went viral. Now, because of that gesture, she has a new jacket that proudly shows off all the sports she lettered in during her time as a Centaur.
One small act changed the whole world, and I'm glad that I was able to give to the world and let them know that there's people out here that care about people, love people. So this kindness is just amazing to me. I'm like so shocked by it. So it's like, ah!
Ace's new letter jacket comes courtesy of District Superintendent Carly Baker. Finally, this segment, we will leave you with a few highlights from the St. Raphael Catholic School Talent Show, where students had a chance to shine this last week.
How could you say you'll be mine? You can count on me like 1, 2, 3. I'll be there. And I know when
For the second straight season, the Park Center boys basketball team faced Eastview in the state Class 4A semifinals. Jay Wilcox has the highlights.
Park Center set for action against Eastview in the Class 4A boys basketball semis. Eastview goes inside to Chet Kloss for the hoop as the Lightning grab an 8-3 lead to start the game. Off a made basket, Park Center throws ahead to Jackson Folks for the layup and foul as the Pirates grab the lead. Cash Chavis gets the steal and takes it all the way for the big dunk. Park Center leads 26-23 after a low-scoring first half. Second half, and Folks pops a 3 for a 44-38 lead. He scores 13 for the game. But Eastview surges. Kloss drives and throws it down on his way to a 10-point night, and they're within 4. John Mekinen spins to score as Eastview takes the lead. They eventually go up by 5, 19 for Mekinen. But it's Park Center with the last run. Chavis attacks down the middle to score for a 55-53 Pirates lead, 21 for Chavis. They throw ahead to C.J. O'Hara for the dunk as Park Center survives a rugged game to win 61-56 to advance to the title game.
We always had a quote, we didn't come this far to just come this far. So we knew our offense wasn't really working for us. But we have a thing we say, if we can't score, they can't score. So I think just our defense and a game plan was to apply pressure, and we did that, and CJ got the steals and the dunks.
Our guys just picked up the defense. We talked about getting 3 stops in a row all game, and we couldn't get it until the last 2 minutes of the game. So, like I said, we talked about it's going to take all 36. It took all 36. Super proud of our guys.
Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
The second Class 4A semifinal Thursday night featured a rematch of an early season game and pitted third-seeded Wayzata against the number 2 seed Lakeville North.
The Trojans and the Panthers in a great matchup to see who would play Park Center Saturday night for the Class 4A title. Good start offensively for the Trojans. Spencer Hall, who would leave the game with an injury in the second half, scores in a driving layup to put Wayzata up 15-5. The Panthers come back. Sam Nolan hits a three-pointer from the corner. Lakeville North is down just 1. Wayzata's Jackson McAndrew moves well for a big man. The 6'9 junior with some nice moves to get his shot off of the basket, and he's fouled. Trojans up 7. Right before halftime, it's McAndrew hitting on a long three-pointer. Part of a 28-point night for him. Wayzata's up 13 at halftime. Early second half, Hayden Tibbetts uses his speed to take the ball all the way to the rim and score. Wayzata is up 17 and would later lead by 20. A great rally, though, by the Panthers. Nolan Winter is double-teamed, so dumps the pass off to Hudson Baith, who dunks it home. Coach John Oxton's team is back to within 6. Later, it's Andrew Quam with a nice up-and-under move on Tibbetts to score. That ties the score at 71. Lakeville North would later take the lead. But tied at 77 in the game's final seconds, it's Tibbetts taking it himself, hitting the tough jumper in the lane with just over a second to play. Wayzata wins 79-77 to get back to the state final for a third straight year.
Originally, we called a play and then it wasn't really there, so then we just kind of worked it around until it got down to, one shot time, and then we ran a play. Jackson had a great screen. My guy got bumped off of that, and then I saw a little bit of a lane, went a little bit in there and took a shot and went in.
Energy was very high, effort was very high. Obviously playing really well, and that helped us a lot, helped keep the energy really high.
Lakeville North played unbelievably well in the second half, and I think that our guys just refused to lose, and we're going to find a way to get it done. And these guys were a huge part of that, but it took all of us, and it's going to take all of us again Saturday night.
Tutino Grace will be out to defend its Class 3A title at 5 p.m. Saturday when the Eagles face De La Salle. And then Park Center and Wayzata play in the 4A championship game at 8 o'clock at Target Center.